Okay, Be'ezat Hashem, we're going to talk about the Sugya of Lo Titgodedu or Titgodedu, which we had it in the beginning of the Gemara. It's an extensive discussion in the back of the Oraita booklet, so I'm trying to summarize that for you, and Be'ezat Hashem, we can learn a lot of practical concepts from here. So, as we know, the Pasuk in Devarim, Perek Yud Daled Pasuk Aleph says that Banim atem la'Hashem Elokechem lo titgodedu velo tasimu gorcha ben enechem lamet. So that over there, lo titgodedu refers to if somebody should not come to mourn extensively to the point of cutting his flesh or causing bleeding, to mourn too much. So that's the Pashut Peshat understanding of the Pasuk. However, Chazal in Yevamot Yud Gimel Amud Bet, they explain that this Pasuk is also telling us the Isur to create divisions, within the community. So we need to understand what is this division, what is this different minhagim in one community, and what is the practical relevance today. Now, years ago, communities with different halakhic practices, they didn't have so much problems like today. Why? Because those with different minhagim, Ashkenazim, Sephardim, Chabad, and etc., Hasidim, they would usually be living in their own communities, and they were not subject to travel so much. Today, Am Israel, they are all scattered around the world, traveling from one place to another place. You are here this week here, next week Lakewood, I don't know about now, right? And we are all traveling, Eretz Israel, here, there. So this is a practical issue. Can somebody go to a Beit HaKnesset of a Sephardi and have his own way of davening, or Sephardi coming to a Beit HaKnesset of Ashkenazim and have his own minhag, or should he just follow the minhag of the makom? Right. So these are all the discussions that poskim talk about it. That the halakha of lo titgodedu today is very, very common than before. It's much more common than before, and we have to understand what that is. Now, technically speaking, one cannot avoid the sheila by making sure that he always davens in his own Sephardi or Ashkenazi Beit HaKnesset. Why not? What's wrong with that? So Pele Yoes, Harav Eliezer Papo Alav Shalom he warns, he says that that one should not think Sephardi should not only go to Sephardi Beit HaKnesset, or one should not think that Ashkenazi should only go to Ashkenazi Beit HaKnesset, right? And this way, each type should not say, okay, I'm going to only worry about my own minhagim, right? Because this is, in a way, you are indicating that there are two nations. There is no two nations. Keish echad belev echad. We are one mamlechet kohenim vegoy gadosh. We are one am. We are one nation, right? So one cannot seclude himself. Say, okay, I'm Sephardi. I will be davening only at Sephardi Beit HaKnesset, right? Or Ashkenazim cannot say I only go to Ashkenazi shuls. No, one should be free to wherever he wants to go and daven, and he needs to know what is the halacha. How should he pray? How should he conduct himself in the places of other Achenu Yehudim, right? So he says, and the language, if you are Persian and you speak Farsi, right, or you are from Mexico and you speak Spanish, right? That doesn't differentiate who you are. We are all Yehudim. So. And there is a concept of minhag avotenu biyadenu, that a person cannot just say, okay, I'm going to change my minhag completely. You cannot change your minhag. Minhag Israel Torah. Right? So What about if somebody wants to be machmir, right? So says one cannot simply be machmir on lo Titgodedu, right? That by conforming at all times the minhagim of the place that he finds himself. You cannot be wishy-washy, right? Pani Meiros writes that an Ashkenazi who rules leniently, lekula, like a mechaber against Rama, needs to do teshuvah. Chida writes also, a Sephardi, right? A Sephardi who rules like the leniency of Rama, right? Also needs to do teshuvah. He's going against the mechaber. So it is critical to know the balance, to when one may continue his own practice, and when one should not continue his own practice, right? So we have to understand: is this lo Titgodedu, is it the oraita or is it only asmachta? So it's a whole machloket. Rab Moshe Feinstein Zal writes that the simple understanding of the Gemara and that which the Chazal say, it comes to suggest that Chazal understand the darsha is that this is midoraita. Lo Titgodedu is midoraita. It's not just asmachta. So it's much more chamur, is much more strict than asmachta. Ritva, right? Also, this is the understanding of Ritva. Ritva also holds the same. Now, Rambam explains lo Titgodedu that refers to a city may not have two batei dinim. That's what Rambam says. Right? And Rambam says the main reason behind this is that they shouldn't be machloket. Rashi says that the main reason of lo Titgodedu is that there should not be as if there is two Torahs. That's what Rashi says. Rav Yehuda Ayash in and also Sedeh Chemet, right, and Peri Megadim and many Acharonim make this point in their understanding of the Kesef Mishnah and Rambam as well. So they all also hold like Rambam, that one should be very careful with the Minhagim not to cause machlokets. I remember when I was in Baltimore, in Agudat Israel of Baltimore, out of Moshe Heinemann Shlita, during the Chol HaMoed, they had a long mechitza for those who would wear tefillin on one side and those who don't wear tefillin on the other side. I don't know if there's such a Beit HaKnesset here. Yes. There is? Okay. Sfarim don't have this issue. So, Bichlal, they don't wear tefillin during Chol HaMoed. Right? Chol HaMoed. So that's what they say. Now, Harambam in Sefer HaMitzvot brings, right, that this also, one needs to be careful about all different factions within one community, right? That there should not be all different factions, contributing to machloket, right? Peri Chadash notes that Rambam in Sefer HaMitzvot is clear that lo Titgodedu is an asmachta. Very interesting. So some say is deoraita, some say is asmachta. Right? So he says that this is, according to Rambam, is asmachta. Peri Chadash. Huh? That's against the.
How does it fit with the Gemara? The Gemara says, but maybe it's only for this. The Gemara's trying to figure out what the drush is for.
Right.
Maybe it's only for this. Maybe it's only. So no, because the Lashon all that is just asmachta.
That's what Rambam. That's what the Peri Chadash holds. Yeah. All that is asmachta. Now there is a different understanding of Rambam in Avodah Zarah, in Hilchot Avodah Zarah, right? And that's a different understanding. Chida writes that this could be the understanding of Rambam, that is deoraita, right? In another place in Hilchot Avodah Zarah, that this lo Titgodedu is deoraita, and therefore one needs to be very careful of it, right? So Now, practically speaking, brings here that it seems the understanding of most poskim amongst the Bet Yosef, and also including Bet Yosef, is that Lo Titgodedu is the real darasha mideoraita. Is not asmachta. So that's what Bet Yosef also holds of that. Now, what's the reason? We spoke about the reason. Rashi says that there shouldn't be two appearance of two Torahs. That is also the understanding of Rashba. Rashba holds like Rashi. Rambam in Avodah Zarah, in Halakhic Avodah Zarah, says that there shouldn't be divisions, and he says that having halakhic divisions within one community. So there is another concept, halacha versus minhag, right? Is halacha versus minhag. So we're going to get to that. Let's say in a place that on Erev Pesach, some places had the minhag not to work at all, right? In such a place, if somebody comes to work, right, is that the problem of Lo Titgodedu against others who do work, right? Or if that's the makom, that makom has the minhag not to work, and he comes to work, is that a problem? Or in places that they keep Sefirat Omer, right, 2 different times, right? Is that a problem or not? So we're going to get to that, right? Oh, we don't have time, I guess, right? So Harav Ben Sion Abba Shaul understands the Rambam, and he says he understands like Rambam, and he says the Isur of Lo Titgodedu is refers to 2 Bate Dinim in one city. 2 Bate Dinim, one Bet Din says, Asur, another Bet Din says Mutar, that makes Machloket. Some say if these 2 Bate Dinim were already there, that's not a problem, because this one follows this shita, that one follows the other shita, right? Now, this concept of Lo Titgodedu, what is it in yeshiva, right? So it talks about here that they all need to follow the minhag. That which Rosh Yeshiva says all need to be one. That doesn't mean a Sephardi should daven like Ashkenazi or vice versa, right? They all follow their own minhagim. Harab Moshe Feinstein, alav shalom, says that if a person goes to a Bate Knesset that they don't do vidui, and his minhag is to say vidui, he should say vidui, but without banging his chest. So this way he keeps his halacha. So this was just 2 pages. There is 4 more pages left. Maybe we follow with the other times. Yes,